Welcome to Seven Trumpets Prepper, and in this video today I'm going to be doing a product review on some Instafire that's sold by PrepSOS.com. So let's take a look at it now. Okay, to begin with, before we go and use this product, I just want to go a quick overview of what the contents are, what we have here. This is a 2-gallon bucket of Instafire that is sold by PrepSOS, as I've already said. The contents in this, there should be 24 pouches. I'll open her up here in just a second. We'll take a look at one. It says that this is a perfect substitute for wood and other fuel sources, lights and burns in wind, rain, sleet, or snow. And I think it has just started to briefly snow here at our house, spit a little bit, so we might be able to try this out in wind and maybe a little bit of snow coming down today. It burns green, no harmful chemicals or vapors, lightweight, easily carried anywhere, safely stores near food with a 30-year shelf life. Now on the back of it here, it's got the instructions of how to use this, and pretty much in a nutshell, you just tear open the pouch, you pour out the pouch, just light it. It says to occasionally stir it so that the entire contents burn, and then every 15-20 minutes repeat the steps to keep your fire burning. And the leftover ash says that it is natural fertilizer, so you don't have to worry about damaging our environment as if it wasn't already damaged enough by mankind. And it's non-volatile, so you don't have to worry about flare-ups of the fire and everything. So that's really nice to know. Now the bucket is got one of these really good pull tabs on it. You know, if you need to store where rats and things cannot get into it, pestilence, then this is definitely a good bucket for that. Just pop her open, like so. And now here's one of these pouches. Now it is a paper, kind of that cardboardish paper pouch, and on the back of it, it also has the instructions, everything just like I read off. This is made in the USA. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, and first off, the stoves that we're now selling on eBay. If you've not seen this yet, here's one that'll be nice and wrapped, come in a box to you. If you take and purchase one from us on eBay, or if you decide to make your own on that video link right there. The stove itself, I've been thinking about this ever since that we got this from PrepSOS, is that you could roll this. This is my thought process on this, and put it inside your can, and yes, just as I suspected, you could store that in there. So now what we're going to do as a product test is I'm going to set my stove up, and I'm going to take and put one of these pouches in the can and light it up and see what it will do to heat up my thermometer and see how much temperature we can get just out of that without putting anything else in our bug out stove, and taking and putting that pouch in there and using it instead, and see if that would be enough to cook a meal in an emergency. So we'll try this out outside and we'll see what the results is. Okay, so it is a very breezy day out here, and it is 33 degrees, and it is spitting just a little bit of snow pellets here and there, and the wind is really getting up. It looks like it's going to lay it down good tonight on the snow part. But anyway, the setup that we have here is I've got the stove ready to rock and roll. I'm getting the Instafire ready, and what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to tear the pack open. I'm going to save this as a fuel ignition source, and now I'll give you a look at these pellets right there, if you can see that in there. They're just little tiny granules, and I'm going to pour all that in there. Now I know some people might have a question about our stoves, is, you know, how long will those hold up, Luke, because they're repurposed from, you know, paint cans. That's exactly a question that would come to mind. So what I'm going to do today is we're going to accomplish two things at once. I'm going to do a review on this, and you're going to see how hot this stove can get with that temperature gauge on top. So I get this. Okay, so now we have our rocket stove going, and I have the Instafuel started in it, and the flame is going pretty good. I'll zoom this in here so you can see a little better. And now, as this operates and starts to burn, remember that the packet did say to stir it some, and so that's what I will do as this goes, is just, you know, right there, it's blowing flame back out the other way. That's really good and hot. So now right now our temperature gauge, waiting for it to come online here and give us an indication of how hot that this stove is burning. But there's no doubt about that, is you can definitely boil water in an emergency with this. You can definitely cook you some food, no doubt about it. So I'll let this burn for a little bit and time this out, and then okay guys, so I've had the stove going for a while now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the gauge off and set it down here. Let's take a look at it. Now I think my gauge is having an issue because I had it going really hot, and then I had it sitting there. It took forever to go, and so I took and waited for it to get up 100, a little past it. I took it in, tested it on the stove, and I don't know if it was hung up or what, because I brought it back out, and then I set it down on the thing and had it go at it again, and it got up to, you know, it's humming, I want to say just 150 easy there in just a short amount of time. And today's conditions are terrible. I mean, to just give you an idea how cold it is, I mean, it's ice and water, okay? So, I mean, it is definitely a cold day out here. But all in all, I'm pleased with how the Instafire worked. I mean, it definitely got the fire going. And I'm going to do another test here just to make sure. And we'll check it out here in just a minute whenever the temp gauge goes back down. Okay, so we gave it a second go around here just to make sure the gauge was having a moment, and that's exactly what it was. It was just hung up to begin with, and we're climbing right now, and this only took a short amount of time. I'm thinking without the gauge issue that it probably took about 4 to 5 minutes to get to the point where you can boil water, cook your food. And so, I mean, either you can use normal means or you can use the Instafire, which I think is a great option to throw in your bug out bag, or not only that, but throw in a little bug out stove and take with you, because right there you go, you've already got your fuel source and your stove with you, and you can't beat that. I thought I would do one more test on this, is to shake this stuff up, and just like if you just poured it out for an open flame. And I put the can directly into the wind today just to see if the wind would put it out and everything, and it continues to fight to burn regardless, especially when the gusts of wind that's come through here earlier is just really gusted. It's still fought to stay going. So, I mean, the composition of whatever they put together to make this fire starter, it really works good. Once I was done trying to put it out in the rocket stove, I poured it out here on the grass at the house, and it's, you know, pretty much the ground is pretty damp, and it's a cold day and the wind's blowing, and the stuff still refuses to go out on the grass too until it burns itself out normally. So this is definitely something that could come in very handy and save your life one day, no doubt about it. So guys, as you can see, it's a windy day, it's 33 degrees outside, it's spitting snow, and the water that I showed you a moment ago is freezing. This stuff works, and it works well. I encourage you to get you some, put in your bug out bag, because it may help save your life one day. So make sure to visit PrepSOS.com and pick you some up. And until we see you again here at 7 Trumpets Prepper Channel, I hope you have a most blessed day in Yahushua's name.